transfer or overdraft protection. Now you do have a negative balance, but it doesn't have the fees on there.
Yeah. Well, and then I talked to someone on the phone, but and they reversed the charge, but the main fee was still a huge issue. But
a $28 one.
No, my account. No, there were like 3 charges. It was for what happened was I canceled my subscription for like YouTube Premium, and then they.
Gotcha. Okay.
I put a new card in my iPhone to download an app. Even the free apps, they make you put a card on file.
Or else they won't let you download anything. Yeah, I know. I went through that not too long
and so
ago.
YouTube picked up my new card on my phone through Apple Pay, and they automatically started charging me again. And so I disputed them, and the bank said that because I ever gave them permission to do a subscription, and they didn't even ask me if that I had for proof that there was canceling or anything. They just denied it. So that's why I made some complaints about it, but because it put me in the hole.
I say it looks like it just says apple.com for $18.99, and that's what made you negative.
But I don't have any services that I buy from Apple, so when I talked to the lady on the phone, she said it would have been iTunes, or it would have been.
I mean, usually it would show like YouTube or Apple Music or something like that. But since it was through, my assumption is like it was set up through your iCloud for the YouTube subscription. That's the reason why it went ahead and went through apple.com.
Right.
But yeah, with Visa, if you don't completely cancel it, or like if you put your card through it, like vendors can still charge that new card, which is kind of shitty in my opinion. With the Apple, because like I had to go and I had to get a new card, and I added my new card, and I had canceled like a Spotify and something else subscription, and they still charged me even when I added the new card, and I already canceled it. I don't really know how to like go about that besides.
Well, I had to make complaint through the company because.
Besides that, and it's not always fun. But I do know like with Visa, because like we have an option where like say you got a new card, and you wanted like the vendors that you had before to be able to like get the new card information. We have the ability to like send that through. Now I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but we do have the option to be able to be like, oh yeah, here's this new information. And then Visa alone, they do have the option to be able to send that through too.
Yeah, what I found out was that Apple is paying the card company to send it back to them before, like I should be able to consent. So my whole thing is not having a card on file means
you can't do anything on your phone.
Well, but just by putting it on my phone to get a free app doesn't mean they can. That's not consent for them to take, to add the new card. And so that's why I was hoping the bank wouldn't even let them. That's why I'm checking about the overdraft and all that, because it's because of the overdraft situation where that didn't just decline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, which there's probably nothing you can do about it.
Not on my end. I mean, the only thing I really can do, I mean, the fees were returned. The only thing I really can do is like.
What they said was that they're basically put it on the card company, as opposed to just. Well, because I made it real clear when I first opened the account I didn't want any overdraft. But after we looked at the paperwork, it doesn't even give you an option to. It's like automatic overdraft protection on the original account I got and the Chiefs checking. So you have to actually like call back in and opt out of it. And when they sign you up, the disclosure only has a box for you to do it for debit cards. And that's why I'm like, well, why am I getting a debit card transaction through?
And on there, like,
you know what I mean?
It should be, because like through the account opening, like we can ask if you want the transfer protection, where it's like if it transfers from your savings to your checking, and then the protection plus, which is the one that you would see on the form.
Yeah.
But if you opt out of both of them, usually the transfer doesn't print on, from what I remember, it doesn't print on there, but the protection plus does print on there. So it does look like it's just one overdraft protection that you're choosing from, but both of them are opted out. And from what I see in here, they're both opted out as well.
So I don't have the overdraft protection?
Yeah, I mean, when I...
So then I shouldn't have had those fees. I shouldn't have had those should have just been declined, right?
Yes, they should have been. Let me see.
So that makes sense. That's where I was confused, because
Yeah.
I'm like, but when I called them on the phone, they said, actually, that didn't apply to my whole account. That only applied to debit cards, and that didn't apply to debit cards where it was a subscription. And so it was like, wait a minute, I think this has just kind of gotten a little, really, to where I'm not sure that I agreed to all that.
Gotcha.
So that's why I was asking them about it in the first place, but then, and that's the first time I've ever had a negative account, so.
I gotcha. Okay.
So I need to put money in there, but if you can,
Let's see.
I don't know what you can do
want
to.
you to authorize and pay overdrafts on my ATM and everyday debit card transactions.
Is that what it says?
I'm gonna have you re-sign this paper, just so it's updated on here. I do not want you to authorize and pay overdrafts on my ATM and everyday debit card transactions. Okay.
But you saw that it was already on there, though?
Mm-hmm. Like, you're not opted in, but I'm just gonna have you sign this paper again, so that way it's updated, and that way they know. Because on this one it does say what will be charged if you pay my overdraft. So what would be charged for you if we went ahead and paid that Apple bill, which is the $28. You don't want us to do that, so I'm checking that off. So you're not opted in for what we call our Regi overdraft protection. You don't have that on there, but for this form, I'm gonna have you re-sign it saying that you do not want any overdraft protections, to where if this were to happen again, it shouldn't go through. It should just be declined, to where you won't have to worry about having any fees or anything like that.
Could you show? Well, if there's something already on there, I don't think we really have to do that. But can you have somebody look into why I was?
I can try.
While we're here. Because if it's already on there, I'm kind of. That's why I don't.
Well, see, we have two different overdrafts, systems. Yeah. So, like I said, one was for the transfer, and one's for Protection Plus. Transfer is where, if you don't have enough in your account, it transfers from your savings to your checking.
Right.
The Protection Plus is if you have Evergy, an automatic reoccurring bill that's going to come out. We go ahead and pay that for you. We're going to go ahead and pay it for you, but you get charged a $28 fee, and that can happen up to 6 times per day.
So is
they're
that
two different things?
But I'm not. But you didn't see me opted
I didn't see you
into that.
Opted in for the transfer protection. Looking for the Protection Plus to see here.
But you didn't see. What I'm trying to figure out is there wasn't any overdraft protection on my account, was there?
There wasn't anything for the overdraft transfer protection. I'm trying to see if I can see anything for the Protection Plus, which is the one that would be the $28 fee. So two different overdraft protections.
And if that's my debit card, is that
the $28 one?
Well, no, the one I signed saying I didn't want any debit card transactions for overdraft.
Yeah, that should be your debit card. And that's what I'm going to try and find right now, is that paperwork.
Or if you have something that shows that I opted
out or something?
In or out of the other one, yeah. Because it seems like that's the one that's kind of a problem.
Any preference of our 600 from
As far as I know, there shouldn't be any overdraft protection on there. 'Cause that's what I told them when I signed up, and then when I switched over to the Chiefs checking, they didn't mention that there was any overdraft or anything on there either.
Okay. So this is for cashback.
I mean, if someone signs they don't want overdraft protection
Uh-huh.
on their debit card, they
We
pretty much
can't.
don't want it on their account at all.
Any preference?
Um,
You open the account with this.
I mean, yeah, but it's two different things. There's a
Yeah.
transfer and then there's the debit card, which is the protection plus. So even if you don't want one, you have to tell us you don't want the other one too, because there's two different overdrafts.
That you want. So you, if I change to the twos, you definitely.
Yeah, and on the form, that's what I'm saying. When they do the disclosure, they don't actually have a spot to opt out of the automatic enrollment for overdraft.
Yeah, because one of us will.
So
we
what
go
they're
through
doing is
that.
opting us into a system where there's potential fees.
Well, usually what they should do is they should ask you if you want the transfer protection and then if you want the protection plus, because they are two different things. On the form that prints out, it usually just shows one of the overdraft practices
And that's what
on
my
there.
complaint is about, because it should be really upfront and transparent about,
The two
like,
different
yeah. Well, it doesn't even give you it doesn't give you a place to actually check to opt out of it.
We check it for you. When we ask it, we check if you want it or if you don't want the transfer, and then if you want and if you don't want the protection plus.
Oh, okay. Does it show that
Yeah, I got to that part on one of your accounts. Let's see, overdraft transfer protection.
what does it say?
So it says on here, it says for the checking account 70. This one says that you opted in. That you would use our standard overdraft protection practices, which means that there's that $28 fee.
When would it show that I said that? Does it say?
This is when you opened your cashback checking account and that savings on May 15th, 2020. So let's see. Let me see what the most current one is. Let's see what this one is. Okay, overdraft fees. So 2020. I think this is for that cashback checking account, not for the Chiefs account. Or did you
I think they're
switch
both
that
cashback.
over?
I just wanted the new Chiefs card with Mahomes on there, and they said it was pretty much the same type
So they switched your
in
account type.
2022 or something.
Okay.
I think in November or something.
Okay. Yeah, because I only see that Chiefs checking account, so I think that they switched it over from the cashback to the Chiefs.
But then I have the issue of once I put a new card in my phone to download some other app,
Mm-hmm.
then it just automatically started charging me. So,
So
What?
that would
We-
have to do with under your subscriptions on your phone. You would want to make sure that whatever subscriptions you had were actually completely canceled out before you enter the card. Because if the subscriptions aren't completely canceled out, then yeah, as soon as you put a new card in, they're gonna start charging you.
well, what happened was I have a couple different businesses, and you could probably see that, but then I have a couple different accounts, but my phone is set up through one of my businesses, but I was on YouTube on my other account, and it uses my email that's attached to this, which isn't the one that it gave me the subscription for, and it ended up crisscrossing them
Okay.
on which accounts just from adding it on here. But just adding the card to your phone for a different purpose
It's
doesn't.
still gonna charge you. Yeah, the subscriptions
Well, it's not really.
are on there.
Well, it's not really consent for them to use the new
Yeah,
card.
and then that's something that you would have to take up with Apple. That's not something that we would be able to.
Well, I used to be able to just dispute something with the bank.
Yeah, I mean, with the card, we've already returned the fees for you, but for the consent type, putting the card in, that's something you would have to take up with Apple, because that's not, that's you entering your card in your phone, and then Apple's charging you for that. That's nothing to do with us on the bank side.
Well, but when I don't have any overdraft, I shouldn't have any overdraft protection.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing, it just says I will use your standard overdraft practices. Now for this, I do not want you to authorize and
What's
pay
that?
overdrafts on my ATM and everyday debit card transactions.
Yeah, do you see the original form?
That was from. Let me scroll down.
Were you looking to have all these ones available today?
May 15th,
Usually
2020.
there's, for this one, it would be a 7.
That's from when that was from. But
And is there a place on there to opt out of it?
yeah, you did click that, but
available
today so I can get groceries?
So they just switched that, I'm guessing.
The government hasn't gone back.
Not as far as
It's the only highlighter I'm actually aware of the location of the river.
Quick question. So for him, he opted out of
checking.
any overdraft protections, like transfer and the Protection Plus back in 2020, but he still got charged two $28 fees last week.
What were the charges?
Apple and then something else.
Auto payments were still allowed.
Point of sale. Yeah, point of sale.
Then I updated the ideas.
Did you check the actual status? Account for the access services?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it.
Whichever one.
Under the
We can upload
Under
it
this?
here and it'll be good, now.
I have no idea. I was double the account. I don't know how to do anything through those buttons. And then maintenance. Account bills.
I see this, but this is for that.
So that's still off there.
Okay, so I saw these.
Yeah. If those show that they're not opted in, then I would go through edit, taking out the overdraft, and then out of the fourth one there, the overdraft program status is also going to need changed.
Okay.
And then I would, you're going to have to sign the document from out again.
Member opted out.
But yeah, technically, since we have the document there,
Yeah.
reverse the
That's
fees.
why I was. Well, the fees have been reversed.
Oh, word.
Yeah, but I was like, I don't understand why he would have got charged. Does that make sense if they didn't check that? Cool.
Are you able to put it back then?
Well, the fees have already been reversed for you.
No, the charges. I'm saying they didn't have my permission to charge me that.
That's something you have to take up with Apple.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't, they refunded the fees, which we can do, but for those fees, since
I'm
went
really
through-
confused. The bank has always returned my money.
I can't return a fee that we didn't charge. It came through Apple and it went through
No, but I
Netflix.
trust you guys when I say I didn't give these people consent to take my money
Okay, so
for you to put it back until we
With that-
investigate it properly.
Yeah, with that, you would have to call the 877 number to file a dispute.
I usually just work with my bank, not a card company.
Well, and
You know what I mean?
They're with us, but the only thing that I can return is the $28 fee. I can't return a fee that we didn't charge, like the $18.99.
But that should have been declined.
Correct, I get that, but
And-
I
and that-
can't return.
can I speak
that
to a
because it
manager?
went through- Yeah.
You can't say it should have been declined, but you can't return it, you know?
Well, I mean, it went through Apple. I didn't charge. that
It went
fee
through
to
the
your
bank,
account.
as far as I'm concerned.
From Apple, yes.
Well, that's between you and Apple. I mean, you know? I mean, isn't it?
I mean, no, it's through your Apple, through your bank account. So
No, my money's with you guys, my bank.
correct, but I can't return.
And I trust you not to give it away to someone unless you know that I've given permission for them to.
Yeah, I can't return that fee because it went through Apple.
It's not a fee, it's a charge.
Correct. I can't return a charge that Apple charged on your account. We can return an overdraft fee for you, which we had already done, but
Well,
there's not really a way for me to
The issue we
return.
have is that I have no overdraft. I've never had overdraft protection on my accounts. And now I've been charged, and she's saying the policy is they'll return the overdraft fees, but not the original amount that a third party charged me.
So, under the access fields, he was still opted in, so I just had him opt out. He needs to sign this again, since whoever originally opted him out didn't change the access fields. There was two charges that came through, point of sale for Apple and then Netflix, for $20 fees were returned, but he is wanting us to return the Apple fee and then the Netflix fee, but
Well, what I'm saying is I don't know what they're for, and so anytime I tell the bank I didn't authorize these payments, they give me my money back.
Yeah, you've got to call that number to do that, though. We don't.
But
handle
so I was explaining to her,
Yeah.
my trust is with you, not the card company, right?
Sure.
Because you guys have my money, and we've established that should have been declined. So that's on the bank. That's not on the card company.
So even had overdraft been handled properly, the Netflix one for sure would have went through, because that's a reoccurring, and that's what we call a promise to pay. So no matter what your overdraft options are, that goes through automatically.
But you can't do that. You have to have, like today, I need a new card. Mm-hmm. If I want to get any app on my phone, Apple makes me put a card in there.
Correct. And that's why I didn't say the
And
Apple one, because the Apple one probably isn't a promise to pay, but the Netflix one is a promise to pay, because that's a reoccurring
And that's fine.
monthly payment.
But the other ones are like $18.99 times 3 times, which puts my account in the hole.
Sure.
And so I want the bank to honor my account, which was no overdraft protection on those.
Yep.
And that whatever you would call declined status, and put my money back.
So I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here. Ashland has refunded the fees for the overdraft, so that's one part. As far as getting the money back for the other ones, that is something you have to call the number on the back of the card. That's just not something.
But they didn't have the policy. You're aware that you guys have the responsibility of declining that, not the card company.
Absolutely, but in order to get that money back, that is the process. No matter who's wrong or right in that scenario, that is the only way to get
just
that
tell
money
them
back.
that you told me to call them, or
Just say, hey, this charge wasn't supposed to go through, and they will refund that.
I think I've already disputed them.
You already have called and disputed
Yes.
them? Okay, then that can
And you
take
guys are relying on your card company instead of your own expertise as
Sure.
professionals, where you understand that should have been declined. And no way should I have been harmed
So the
by
Apple
that.
one should have been declined.
There's 3 of those.
The Netflix one,
That's fine. I don't know why that's.
Yeah. but again, in order to get those funds back, we do have to go through the card company. We have no way.
Well, I can wait. You can go through the card company. You know what I mean? They're the ones you're working with. That's what I was trying to explain to her.
We
My
can't
deal's
call
with
on
you.
your behalf. They will not take our
Well,
call.
you guys allowed the money to come out of my account,
Sure.
and you shouldn't have. And
Sure.
that's why I told her I made complaints with the company over it,
Yep.
because it's unethical. But I do business with you guys. You do business with the card company. I don't do business with the card company.
Technically, you do business with
I mean,
the card
through
company
you guys.
because you use your Visa card.
Yeah,
But that is, I mean, if you are wanting the funds back.
but I'm not
we'll-
asking them to give me the money. I'm asking the bank to honor the status of what my account should have
Sure.
been.
So we can go round and round about this. How do we resolve it?
Well, we honor the status of how things should have been, right?
Sure. I don't have a signed document on file that says that should have been.
Right, and that's unfortunate. But what you do have is something on file that shows where you don't give the option to opt out when you set up your account in that disclosure, and that's an issue. It's deceptive. It doesn't give people. When I set up my account, I clearly told them no overdraft on anything,
Got it?
and so that's really easy to understand. There's no reason why. And then when I switched over to Chief's checking, I asked them if there was anything different. Are you aware of the disclosure not having a spot to opt out of that? What it ends up doing is creating this opt-in for customers system where there's fees.
So we should
stuff.
always have an opt-out anytime that we have an account opening. That's on every account opening, the option to opt out.
Can you pull up the disclosure and show me it? The one that I signed originally that had that option?
But it was originally a cashback checking.
And the only reason I'll have you look is because I've already looked, and I won't mess with you too much about it. But the only reason I'm saying that is because now I'm having this issue,
All of this together
obviously.
is from my math
And then they canceled and blocked my card just for disputing it in the first place. I guess I don't know why.
Yeah, anytime there's a dispute, they require a new card.
And then I'm having a conversation with you where I'm going to get a new card, and if I want to get some other apps, any third party should have to have my consent to add that to my account. They can't just pull it off of my iPhone.
And that's why I was telling you to make sure you go through your subscriptions to make sure everything's turned off through your Apple. Because there was one time I had canceled, like, I think it was my Spotify or something,
Yeah.
through my subscriptions, and as soon as I added a new card, it started charging me when I thought I had canceled it.
Yeah, and I just don't think it's right. I think that
Not something with Apple though, with the subscriptions, because I think you set up too.
But we can't. The institution of the bank can't just kind of point at the Apple. This institution's responsible for the bounce back. It's the bank has the responsibility of getting the consent of the customer before they give the customer's money to anybody. So it's really
But the consent's out the window once you've given your card number to
not.
somebody.
Yeah, that card. Once I get a new card and put it on file, that's a new consent that's required.
But that's between you and Apple.
No, it's between me and my bank because my bank is responsible for not giving out my money unless I've given out my card.
But when you just entered that card in
No,
again,
entering my card into my phone for a free app is not consent for other subscriptions to get in my phone and access my card on my Apple phone. That's not the case.
So
That's
who's going into your phone and getting that information?
Any other previous subscriptions?
Yeah, if you've set up a previous that's through Apple. That's
know
not
what?
through us though. You've set up that agreement. That's part of the Apple user.
No, I never agreed that they could have access to any card I put in my phone. That's not. I've never agreed to that.
I would reread the Apple agreement because when you put your phone or your card in your Apple wallet or in Apple, you're
I may
agreeing.
have to reread it, but
Yeah, you're agreeing to that. That's not a Community American thing. Once you and it would be for any financial institution. Once you put your card in there, you're giving Apple access to that card.
yeah,
They don't do Apple. That's part of their thing. They don't do just one-time payments. They do. Hey, this card's on file. You have a subscription here.
Well,
We're
no,
gonna take it.
but I think that's a new thing. The standard has always been if I don't give you my card, you can't have my money.
Yeah, but that's what Apple does. That's what I'm saying. That's part of their agreement.
Well, I may have to get a hold of them and ask them, but
Because I've got, like the same thing for me. I've got an app that renews once a year,
Yeah.
every year. And I've had new cards throughout the year. And I've put it in for something else, but they still take it for that. That's just their agreement. That's not a Community America thing. Because the card
I
that I
don't
have
know
on
that I
file
would-
is not a Community America card either. It's a Chase card.
well, that's what I was telling her. So I have my phone set up through one business,